네, 캡업은 4차 산업혁명의 성장 동력인 블록체인을 소개해주고 많은 분들이 함께 교류할 수 있고 산업 생태계를 알 수 있는 그런 교류의 장입니다. 바로 코인네스트가 주최한 블록체인 전문 컨퍼런스입니다. 매월 정기적으로 진행한 캡업으로 이제 이전보다 많은 분들이 블록체인 산업에 대해서 건전한 이해를 하게 되었습니다. 또 캡업은 향후 4차 산업의 새로운 성장 모멘텀이 될 그 가치를 여러분과 함께 공유하고자 합니다. 네, 코인네스트는 대한민국이 글로벌 시장에서 4차 산업혁명을 주도하고 선도해 나갈 수 있다고 믿고 있습니다. 그 모든 변화의 과정, 미래의 비전을 캡업에서 여러분과 함께 공유하고 그 블록체인을 통해 그렸던 모든 꿈들이 현실이 되는 순간에 여러분과 함께 직접 그려나갈 예정입니다. 오늘은 총 5팀의 발표가 준비되어 있습니다. 특히 마지막 발표에 대해서 좀 여러분들 궁금해하시는 분들 많으실 것 같습니다. 사실 저희가 보통은 매달 마지막 주 금요일 저녁에 캡업을 주최를 하는데 이번에는 특별히 평일 저희가 또 낮 시간에 하면서 많은 분들이 오실 수 있을까 걱정을 했지만 자리에 많은 분들이 참석을 해주셔서 그만큼 블록체인 산업에 대한 여러분들의 관심이 나날이 뜨거워지는 것 같습니다. 그럼 첫 번째 발표팀을 모시도록 하겠습니다. 첫 번째 발표팀은 코인밋입니다. 코인밋의 공동 창업자 앨런 리가 준비를 할 예정입니다. 네, 코인밋은요 블록체인을 통한 지불 결제 시스템 프로젝트입니다. 이 블록체인을 통한 지불 결제 시스템은 점점 진화하고 있습니다. 소셜 네트워크와 암호화폐 지갑을 연동하는 비즈니스 플랫폼 코인미트를 소개해드립니다. 앨런 리에게 큰 박수 부탁드립니다.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's very pleasure to be in Seoul, and I just fall in love with this city the first time I arrived with such warm weather and lovely people here. And it's glad to be invited by Coinne스트 for this presentation to talk about our products and to talk about our team and introduce myself, also the future of our product plan. Okay, so before I come to this meetup, I talked to my friend Lei Jun, who is the chief officer of Xiaomi company, and I'm talking about my nervous about the pronunciation of English. I'm afraid that maybe my pronunciation will be bad and nobody will understand. So Lei Jun tell me it's okay, you can say anything in English and be calm down, and if your pronunciation is bad, the audience and your Me fans will translate into a DJ music, such as his experience in India. Okay, so I become and I come here for the introduction first. My name is Alan Lee. I'm the co-founder of Coinmeet, and I used to study in Macquarie Uni for 4 years in AU. And when I graduated back to China, I'm working with the toppest internet company such as Alibaba and Baidu for almost 7 years. And after that, I get a high status in the company, and I quit. And I published my own book, names like Redefine the Internet Operations. And it's almost 40,000 book sales in these half years. So after I start up the blockchain things and after I start up the Coonmeet products with my friends, the first thing I ask and me and my team is about the keywords. First one, currency and tokens. We think we have to be deep understanding of the currency things and also the relationship of the currency with the tokens and help us to structure our products to be better. So actually we found the answer from a biological standpoint that we find that there are lots of symbiosis relationship in the human or the animal situation, and we need to exchange our energy and exchange our minds, our materials to do the collaborative activities. And actually, we grew the civilization and we grew the culture through the collaboration. So we'll consider about the currency might be the gas of human collaboration, and as well as the collaboration will trigger the boom of the civilization's growth. So the first
point is about a token. So if we look back the era of our civilization from the nomadic era to maybe now we're in the internet era, we can figure out that the currency, the forms of currency is changing, and it's changing with the growth of civilization. In different sectors of the era, maybe the nomadic era, we just need to cooperate with few people within a village, maybe no more than 100 people, and it's easy for us to be trusted, and it's easy for us to exchange. So at that time, our currency seems to be like salt, meat, or wheat. Okay. So after the extension of the culture and we build our civilization in restricted area, we come to another stage, and this time we take the currency as silver and gold, and to improve the exchange efficiency and help us to be developed more connection and exchanges. And the other era, industrial and internet era, we found out that because of the global, the discovery of the geography, we need to connect with the other area, with the other regions, with other country, with more complexity of the exchanges, about the energy, about the material, and to start up more extension of the civilization. So the currency changed from the silver, from the gold to the cash and the digital cash. So we might consider a conclusion that we need the currency to change frequently based on our growth of civilization to promote our currency efficiency, and also to improve our cooperative activities result, and as well as we have to be a lower cost and more faster during the interaction. So in the future, maybe we are going to a digital era with big data, with AI, with IoTs, and we consider the cash, the digital cash or the digital currency for us now is not available, which is we find out that there's still uncharted situation here and still centralized, and it's hard for us to be globalized used. So everybody consider the blockchain, and everybody of us consider that it's the time to create a new currency around the world. Okay, so token and tokenized might be the future of our digital future. Okay, so as I'm saying that the currency might be the energy for the human civilization growth, and after we do the collaboration also trigger the communities to grow faster. So the other keywords we consider is about the communities. Okay. My friends and a lot of people think that we are similar communities between ants community and human community, but we don't agree with that. Actually, we think ant community has already controlled the technique of blockchain, and they use their antennae, to exchange and set up a smart contract, and their group is so efficiency and they can set up an unbelievable trust between each other, and their group is faster, is trustworthy, and also growing a very big network and very big regions. So if we compare to the human community, it's not the same. Actually, we are full of untrust, and we are full of costs to negotiate it. We are full of gaming theory. So maybe let's have example in the human group. Like WeChat is one of the famous IM tools in China, and we also have many communities within the tools. And one day maybe I send a red pocket to my friends and saying that if you take this pocket cash, you have to spread my advertisement link to your friends. And in the human community, they might all take the red packet and take the cash, and the few people will spread their idea, spread the advertisement link. Okay, so the untrust and gaming things is happening in the humanity so far. The human community is supported by the modern business. We think it's not enough for us for the future. So based on the 2 points, we consider to build products, or we consider to build a platform that combines the tokenized and community together and make it more be like good to us. So Coinmeet is actually aiming a blockchain ecosystem focusing on digital assets, digital identity, and digital socializing. For the first one, the token one, we are able to support multi-asset to transform, to do the payment, and also we support users can set up their groups and to build their distribution channel of the tokens. Besides, we also support the ability that people can join groups and communities and also build up their own tokens. So the main technology we have for the first one is end-to-end encryption, and we consider that people do not have to be. We consider that the end-to-end encryption helps us to do the communication privately, and we can keep our privacy and erase any information we don't want to leave, okay, and not the third party, okay. So the other one is the cross-chain adapter, and we are able to support like BTC, ETH, and LTC and our Coonmeet for now, and to like do a convenient transfer and about payment and also the token usage within the platform. And the third one is about LBS, and we actually have planning for the radar things. And in the future, we can, through the radar, to find out the community around us, and we can find our friends or the people holding tokens. And then it triggered us to be like cooperative and exchange, and also we can do the exchanges through the LBS. And the biometric identification, and you can see we also like Coonmeet to be a passport. We can grab our fingerprint, our voice, and the looks what we looks like onto the chain, and we don't need any passport or IDs later, and it helps us to just take the Coinmeet, and we can do anything. So on the token side, we also support the token channel to distribution. We are planning to have many valuable tokens into the products, and people can set up their groups and like distribute their tokens channel and improve their usage within the product. As well as the token transfer is convenient now. We can set up a red pocket and also we can transfer to our friends within just 3 minutes. And the token to token exchanges, we also will set it. Okay, so in the future, Coinmeet is aiming to build an ecosystem, and our important thing is not about the IM. IM is just the second one, and the first one is about how to build a strong token account. We are looking forward to grab lots of strong token account in the ecosystem. That with this high quality account, we are able to do a lot of things, and it's valuable. So in the future, we are going to take like value token listed in our products, and also we provide to the cooperator to set up their own functions, and they can DIY what they need in the community, any function they need, and we will open the API to build this ecosystem and make the token liquidity. Okay, so it's also easy for the future that token to tokens transfer and exchanges will be successfully. And the other thing is that we also want to do a lot of virus application scenarios, such as entertainment and gaming, and valuable contents that we can use token, and also the offline business. We will set our main network on the public chain within this year, and soon I think we can build our ecosystem soon. So we just started up the product at last year, 12/25, and in almost 2 months for us, but we already get 3.5 million users in this product, and also 5,000 groups within the product. So we are trying to provide the ability for each communities and each product to set up their own dApp, and as well as they can DIY what they want inside the community and do lots of such as token transaction, the community distribution channel build, and also they can do like entertainment, they can do like valuable content and pay for the offline business. So we consider that in the future every community should be a dApp, and they can like cooperate well with tokenized. Okay, so that's my presentation, and for now, just 2 months, we got 3.5 million users registered in this product, and as well as 5,000 communities. And we are going to incorporate more resources into the Coinmeet and set up the ecosystem for us to make it more valuable for all of us. And in the future, we are looking forward to make the blockchain to mainstream and actually our digital assets. Thank you. Any Q&A? Any question? Thanks.
Thank you for your presentation. 네, 저희가 두 팀의 발표를 먼저 마친 뒤에 10분간 브레이크 타임을 가질 예정입니다. 그때 차마 쑥스러워서 물어보셨던 질문들은 또 직접 어려운 발걸음을 하신 팀들이니까 직접 질문을 해주시기 부탁드립니다. 네, 다음 팀을 소개해드리겠습니다. 다음 팀은 비체인입니다. 비체인의 운영 총괄 책임인 케빈 펑이 와서 발표를 할 예정입니다. 네, 투명성과 무결성은 블록체인의 큰 장점입니다. 블록체인을 기반으로 구매 상품의 신뢰성을 검증하는 비체인 프로젝트를 여러분께 소개해드립니다. 네, 케빈 펑을 큰 박수로 맞아주시기 부탁드립니다.
Thank you. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. So my name is Kevin Fung. I'm the COO of Vechoin. So today I'm really glad to be here and talk about the Vechoin projects. So currently our community are mainly based in China, Europe, and US, not so much Korea. So thanks to Coinne스트, now we are started to going to engage with the Korean community and the markets. So today I want to talk about mainly why we decided to build this public blockchain with all the features that's suited for the enterprise mass adoption, and also some of the issues and challenges we have learned from our clients and our partners when we build those blockchain application for them, and also of course how we are going to tackle these issues on our public chain. So first of all, I want to First of all, I want to talk about the whole, technical issue. I want to talk about the whole industry, right? So in the last 2 years, so the whole blockchain industry got so much attention than we have ever had. And after the invention of Bitcoins, kind of the mainstream kind of push us to the main spotlights, and we believe that in the next 2 or 3 years is going to be the defining phase for this technology, because we're going to see huge regulatory requirements, developments, and industry standards. And people are expecting to see the blockchain in the technology to be commercialized, to be implemented in the real world business environment. So that's kind of what we are focusing on, and we believe that only we can do that, and we can actually enter the so-called growth phase, so to see the whole industry grow at a high speed. So that's why actually in Vechoin we believe at this moment at least the biggest hurdle of this technology is not of this industry is not technology but the real world application with real value. So and why we say that, because maybe I can add a little bit more on the history of our projects. So the Vechoin project started in 2015. So we started as a blockchain service provider. We built service blockchain solutions for different clients and well-established global entities. And through that process, we accumulated the experience that how we can build this full package product to the client, meaning we build the infrastructure level smart contract APIs as well as user interface, so that the enterprise can easily adapt to this new technology or interact and integrate their system with the blockchain. And through that process, we also are exploring the possibility of helping our clients to run in those business applications activity on the public blockchain environment. And we found that most of our clients are very concerned about the current public blockchain, mainly because the lack of governance structure, first thing, and the lack of stable transaction cost. And the other thing is because blockchain is a underlying technology, and most of the enterprises, they don't have knowledge of this new technology. They don't know how to actually develop upon this new technology. So these are some of the things that we learned from our enterprise users as well as our strategic partners. Luckily, we have PwC and DNVGL as our strategic partners, because they have access to like tens of thousands of global enterprises. This is also their advice to us. So that's why we decided that we are going to build our own public blockchain with all the features that our enterprise users need. So I'm going to talk about that the features on our public blockchain later, but just to add a little bit more on our projects. So as I mentioned, we started as a service provider. We have already built blockchain solutions in different industries like luxury goods, alcohol, and retail consumer, even cold chain logistics. All these are already running applications on our permission chain. So you can see that because I said we want to do real world implementation, so that's why we chose those non-finance industries to start with, because these are industries are easy to implement, and the financial services industry, so I think it's the hardest to disrupt. And also some of the highlights of our projects. Now we have 3 or 4 offices around the world. The main office is in Shanghai, and we have offices in Paris, Singapore, as well as Tokyo. So our project was actually the only blockchain project for the Shanghai government important products tracking program, as well as the only technology provider for the Huiyan New Zone. That's a government initiative in China. And we are also the global partner of DNVGL and DNVGL's Global Digital Transformation Initiative. And of course, we are partnered with PwC as the first blockchain startup in their high-tech incubation program. This is a little bit information on the projects. And if you look at the team, our team is most of our team are coming from enterprise background in different industries. Our CEO is Sunny Lu. He's the CIO of Louis Vuitton Group in China, so he knows the luxury industry. And our CFO is 14 years experience in the Big Four accounting firm. And our CTO, he used to lead a 200 people software team in TCL. He's an expert in IoT and embedded software. And myself, I'm the CEO, and I used to work for PricewaterhouseCoopers for over 12 years as a cybersecurity and privacy professionals before I joined Vechoin. And some of the other people, like also Jerome. Jerome is leading our Europe business. He's responsible for our business development in Europe, engaging with the enterprises in Europe. we are proud of our partners because this is just a selection of our partners here, and so we have more, but some of them we cannot disclose due to the NDAs. And here we have, I think the most important partnership is with the PwC and DNVGL, because I mentioned these are strategic partners. They told, because they know all this industry very well, and they tell us what are the pain points in all of this industry so that we can build this blockchain solution that actually work for those enterprise users. And we also have some of these companies are actually those companies that we are building the blockchain solutions for. Some of them are already implemented. Like the DIG is the largest wine importer in China. We built a traceability solution for them. Now there are over 10,000 of bottles of wine running on the blockchain. You can buy it in the supermarket in China. And of course, Renault Group and BMW, we are working on the automotive use cases for them. We announced the partnership with BMW in our recent rebranding event, but unfortunately I cannot disclose details because BMW is going to announce that details in their event probably in April. And we are working also with some of the famous universities, Oxford and MSU, on some of the research project, especially on the privacy, how to protect privacy on the blockchain, as well as some of the algorithms in terms of encryption. And also we have a very good investors, Briar Capital, who's the top investors in the internet industry, and they actually invested in Facebook at its very early stage. And Fenbushi is the top investor in terms of the blockchain industry in China. And of course the last one, the BitOcean. BitOcean is also an important strategic partner. They are one of the 16 licensed crypto exchange or crypto trading firm in Japan. So we are working with them to help the Vechoin token to be legally exchanged in Japan. So as I mentioned, we have so many clients that we already built the business blockchain solutions for, and we have already on our current blockchain, we have already built this solution for example, one of the luxury brands. We have built this anti-counterfeiting traceability solution for that brand. They actually have they chose one of the product line which has 500 bags. They have our IoT chip in it, and those chips are actually registered on our blockchain. Users can scan that chip and pull the information from our blockchain. And we also have the traceability for wine and cold chain logistic solutions in which we deploy those sensors on those transportation vehicles so that the sensor can collect data and store it on the blockchain. So all of these, I just want to emphasize one thing, that all of these, most of are actually the running blockchain application that the enterprises are using. Although now it's on our permission blockchain, and once we launch our public blockchain, all those clients are already agreed that they're going to move this application, this business activity on our public blockchain. So the next session I want to talk about the mainnet, our mainnet. We call that Vechoin Thor, and that mainnet we have incorporated different features. We have listened from our partners what are some of the things that the enterprises users are looking for. So I'm mainly going to talk about three aspects. The first one is the governance structure we put in place to achieve the kind of the balance between centralization and decentralization. And the second thing is our economic model, how we can ensure a stable transaction cost on our platform. And the last thing is the technology components on our platform so that can facilitate the easy adoption for the enterprise users. So first thing is the governance model. We believe that now the public blockchain needs kind of a better governance model, so that when it comes to like the technology upgrade, there's a efficiency, there's a higher efficiency in terms of decision makings. So yeah, you guys probably already seen now the public blockchain had this hard forks because the community is not able to agree on a consensus agreement. So we put in place a steering committee which has 7 people. 3 people are from the Vechoin team, and 2 people are from the DMVGL group, which is one of them is DMVGL China CEO, and the other one is the leader of their global digital transformation initiative. And the other member is cybersecurity partner in PwC, from PwC. And the last member is she's a professor, economic professor from the Hong Kong City University. She's kind of like the independent members. So we are expecting to see more and more probably representatives from our enterprise user to join this community, to join this steering committee. And in the steering committee, we have 6 different groups that's kind of dealing the daily operation and working for the steering committee to provide information for them to make decisions. So this is kind of like, we call it kind of like the centralization part, so that to facilitate the efficiency. And we also embrace the decentralization. We really appreciate the effort from the community members. So we have designed a multi-layer node system in our blockchain. We have authority node who's the highest nodes, who's generating the blocks and maintaining the security of our platform. And we also have different tiers of economic nodes, and they can all participate in the voting, in the governance. So a typical process will be if we need a kind of like technical upgrades for the scalability concerns, and the technical committee will do the research and study and give some proposal options to the steering committee, and they're gonna do the initial assessment and come up with a solution. And that solution, before that solution got executed, it has to be voted by the community to say yes or no to go. So this is kind of how we want to strike the balance between the centralization and decentralization. And we recently because we really appreciate the support from the community, we recently released the so-called X Node program. So the users can get the special status after we launch the mainnet, so that they can be part of the community entity we are going to build in the future. They will be our ambassadors in terms of like their business development and community building in different regions. So the whole idea about this governance structure is to kind of keep the efficiency of the traditional corporate governance, as well as the decentralization nature of the technology. And the second part is the economic model. So when we talk to our enterprise users, most of them are concerned about the cost. The cost of using those public blockchain is just fluctuate too much. And if you want to deploy a smart contract on Ethereum today and compare it to 3 years ago, the cost is like 10 times or over 10 times. So from an enterprise perspective, that's not something they can accept. So they want some platform that the cost can be stable or at least predictable, so that they can do their budgets, they can estimate their costs. So we designed this 2 token system. So in this 2 token system, the Vechoin token will be the primary token, which represents your privilege of consuming the network resource. And it's gonna be the smart money for the business to settle the transaction with each other, or for the consumers to settle with the enterprise. So on top of that, we designed another token called VThor, which is like the secondary token. If you hold your Vechoin token, that secondary token will generate automatically at a predetermined speed. And this sounds like something similar than with other projects, but we designed different mechanisms to make sure to kind of stabilize the cost of the secondary token, which is the token that will be consumed when you perform payments or executing smart contracts. So we have different mechanisms. We can adjust the generation speed of the secondary token based on the economic pricing model that's building by our chief scientists, as well as economic professor from the university. So the foundation has a team to monitor some of the metrics, and when it comes to a certain threshold, they're going to kick off a process for the steering committee to assess whether there's a need to do some adjustment, either adjust the speed or provide additional liquidation of the secondary token. So yeah, and the community has to vote on the result. So the whole idea is to make the cost of using our platform to be controllable or stable, at least predictable for enterprise users. So the philosophy under this model is we want our platform to be free to start. If you're just a light user, you do some payments here and there every day. The platform will be free for you to use. And if you're a heavy user, meaning that you are probably running thousands of smart contracts on it, and that means you are getting values from that platform. So you have to pay for that. You probably have to buy those Vechoin tokens from other users. And the third thing is some of the technology components in our platform. So because, as I mentioned, we started as a blockchain solution provider. We know that blockchain alone, it cannot be a lone wolf to just, because the blockchain alone doesn't solve any problem. It has to work with other technologies. So we in some of the use cases, we all usually combine the blockchain technology with IoT technology. So IoT technology is like your eyes and ears, helping you to collect data in the real world and store on the blockchain. So in our platform, of course, the blockchain core is the infrastructure level, and we have other components, the IoT technology, as well as we use different connections for those IoT technology. So we actually don't restrict ourselves to any certain type of IoT technology. We use all kinds of IoT technology, RFID, NFC, or different kind of online and offline sensors. So it's really based on the client's needs, based on their industrial needs. Some of our clients, like the luxury bags, they want to make sure they can prevent all the counterfeiting bags. So they want secure IoT chips. So we use NFC chips for them, which is difficult to copy. And some of our clients, they just want to have a better inventory management. So we can, for that purpose, we can probably just use a QR code because they're not worried too much about someone copying their products. They just want to have a unique code for the products so that they can track those products. So I think one of the things that's kind of unique of Vechoin is now currently those projects are either positioned in themselves as either a platform or application provider. So the Vechoin is kind of like both. We are doing the infrastructure level platform, and we are also building those pilot applications on our platform because we already have those applications. We're going to migrate those applications on our platform as the pilot projects, and we believe it's just like the App Store, Apple's App Store. At the beginning, there's no application in it, so the Apple decided to just build their own application, and later on, there are more and more developers coming to the platform, and they can either probably replicate the idea or develop some new things. So we will provide the tools and services and standard tools and services for the users. And so especially for the small and medium enterprise users, we have those packaged solutions, so they can just take it and they can instantly use it and register their products. Even if they want, they can register their products on the platform. So as a summary, the Vechoin Thor public blockchain, it's based on our experience of building blockchain solutions for all those enterprises, global enterprises, and also based on the advice we have been given from our strategic partner PwC and DMVGL. So its idea is to strike the balance between centralization, decentralization, with the comprehensive governance structure, as I just mentioned, and of course the robust economic model to make sure that transaction costs can be stable and predictable. And because of the regulatory compliance requirements, we will build native governance tools such as the KYC service, the voting service, as well as smart contract certification. So that because we know that in a lot of the business scenarios, you need to know the real identity of the trading, the counterparty of your trading. So in order to facilitate the easy adoption, we'll build the native tools, applications for those KYC service, so that the enterprise can easily use this platform. And our platform will use proof of authority consensus, which consists of 101 authority nodes. All these nodes will be verified. We know the real identity of the node holder. They will be probably enterprise or individual holders. And actually, a lot of our current enterprise users, they already said they want to run a node. Even a lot of our partners, they want to run a node on the blockchain because they want to be part of the. Of course, the authority node will have a higher reward in terms of the incentive program, and they have a higher say in the governance structure as well. So it makes sense for the heavy enterprise users to be part of that program. And of course, as I mentioned, we have the packaged off-the-shelf IoT solutions for especially small, medium-sized enterprise. If they don't want to do heavy developments, they can just use our packaged solution. I think that's also one of the critical things to achieve the mass adoption of the blockchain technology. So in short, the public blockchain will have a strong governance model as well as economic model, and the mainnet will launch by the second quarter of 2018. I think in interest of time, I prepared some use cases that we already built for our clients. I don't think I will go through it. If anyone is interested, you can come to me and discuss, because this is going to take another hour if I want to go through that. This is the car digital passport for Renault Group, and this is the cold chain logistics solution we built for one of the convenience store chain in China. So thank you. That's what I want to talk about today. And if you are interested in our project, just follow our social media. I saw someone have a question. Oh, you have a question? We are working with two professors. I don't recall exact. Sorry. We are working with two professors. I don't recall exactly the name because I'm not the coordinator of that program. I believe one of them is Professor Wang. Yeah, because they actually Oxford is going to do announcement probably shortly on their websites about this program. Is your research with the mathematics? Okay. I know Oxford, they're kind of different institutions working independently. So yeah, they're working even like an independent university. Cool. Yeah, we can talk about more. I see there's a questions over there. Questions?
네, 그 발표 잘 들어. 발표 잘 들었습니다. 그 유저들이 비트체인을 가지면은 가격 상승을 기대할 수 있기 때문에 비트체인을 가질 것 같은데요. 그것 외에도 일반 유저들이 비트체인을 가지면 어디서 소비를 할 수 있는지 궁금합니다. 일례로 뭐 와인이 원산지를 추적하는지 명품의 정품 유무를 확인할 수 있는지 그런 부분이 있는지 좀 궁금합니다.
Yeah, so your question is about the VeChain token, how the token's value is going to increase in different use cases. So yeah, I think in general the value of the token will increase as the growth of the ecosystem. If there are more and more enterprises are using the ecosystem, there will be stronger needs for the VeChain token, because that actually represents the privilege of consuming the network resource. And also, as I mentioned, if you hold the VeChain tokens, you will be able to automatically get the secondary token, which is VeChain Thor, on the platform. So because if you are a major enterprise, you're expecting to run thousands of smart contracts on the platform. It makes sense for the enterprise to buy the VeChain tokens in advance, to hold those tokens so that they can get enough VeThor for their smart contract transaction, because that means they can basically almost using the platform for free. If they want additional ones, they can of course buy it on the market. So in short, like as we have more and more enterprise users going to this platform, there will be a stronger need for the VeChain tokens. We are expecting the enterprise users to later on use the VeChain tokens as the smart money to settle their transactions, so that they can enjoy more benefits of the smart contracts.
네, 답변 잘 들었습니다.
안녕하세요. 저는 세 가지 질문이 있는데요. 예, 짧게 답변해 주셔도 됩니다. 예, 한 가지씩 질문하겠는데요. 예, 비체인의 블록체인 X는 블록체인 속도가 만 정도 된다고 알고 있는데요. 이거는 퍼블릭 블록체인 상에서 이루어지는 속도입니까? 그렇다면은 비자나 지금 나와 있는 진리카보다도 엄청나게 빠른 속도였는데요. 좀 이것이 먼저 알고 있습니다.
Okay, and the question is about the TPS on the mainnet. Yeah, I think in one of the AMA, our Sunny, our CEO, mentioned that we based on our testing, the mainnet the TPS theoretically the main TPS can reach to 10,000 transactions per second, but that's based on the testing, and it's also because we are using the proof of authority consensus, which means less nodes on the public chain. That helps with the performance. But as we launch our mainnet, we're not gonna use the 10,000 TPS, because that's also based on the estimation of our chief scientists and the economic professor, because we have an estimation about, like, it could be like there will be probably 1 million smart contracts running on the VeChain every month based on the current usage of our permission blockchain. So based on that assumption, we will set the TPS at a certain level to meet the needs of the platform, because if you set the TPS too high, that actually means each of the node will consume more storage on each of the nodes. So we actually have the mechanism to later on, because that's actually why we have this governance structure, so that later on, if we want to upgrade our technology, we based on the actual usage of the platform, we have the efficient way to do that.
예, 더 짧게 답변해 주셔도 되고요. 두 번째는 최근에 저의 몇 친구들로부터 비체인 담당자로부터 메일이 왔다고 해요. 한국 커뮤니티 담당자에 대한 메일인데요. 한국 커뮤니티 담당자를 고용할 의사는 없는지, 그리고 지금 어떻게 진행되고 있는지 알고 싶습니다.
Yeah, definitely. We're interested in, as I mentioned, we want to expand the community here. Yeah, we're definitely interested in talking to some people who wants to be the community leaders here. Yeah.
네. 마지막으로 저는 그 비체인을 윤비 시절에 구입해가지고 지금까지 보유하고 있는데요. 그 스르나임 노드에 되기 위해서 12월 달부터 지갑에 넣어놓고 있습니다. 그런데 지갑이 해킹 위험이 있어서 지갑을 한 2번 정도 옮겼고 또 나노 S를 구입해서 지갑에 다시 옮길 생각이에요. 근데 101명의 그 스르나임 노드를 그 선발하는 기준이 무엇인지 수량인지 아니면은 그 보관하고 있는 기간인지 좀 정확하게 말씀해 주셨으면 좋겠습니다. 그리고 저처럼 해킹 위협이 있어서 지갑을 옮긴 사람들은 어떻게 해야 되는지도 좀 알려주셨으면 감사합니다.
So you're talking about authority nodes. So those nodes we already announced that in order to be the first batch of the 101 authority nodes, you have to lock your certain amount of VeChain tokens from December 21st into the mainnet. So we already have the candidates of the first batch authority nodes, which are like more than 300. And so pretty soon we are going to announce the process for the users how to apply for the authority nodes. We'll announce the criteria we are going to use to select the first batch, and later on we have this program about how we're going to manage the authority nodes. We have a waiting list, and we'll monitor the running nodes based on their performance. We may initiate a replacement of one of the current node with one of the node on the waiting list. So as long as if you already locked your token from December, yeah, as long as it's in a trackable wallet on the like Ether scan, you should be good. A lot of questions.
예, 오늘 좋은 말씀 감사합니다. Real application with real value. 그 말이 저희 철학과도 잘 나는 것 같습니다. 그런 의미에서 귀사 파트너사에 관련된 제품인 럭셔리 굿즈나 와인 같은 프로덕트를 귀사의 비체인 코인으로 살 수 있는 쇼핑몰을 나중에 운영할 계획이 있는지 하고요. 두 번째 질문은 금이나 석유 같은 자원하고 센트럴 파크나 와이키키 해변 같은 부동산을 코인으로 이렇게 만들어 주는 그런 로드맵도 가지고 있는지 궁금합니다.
Sorry, I forgot your first question. The luxury, yeah, the luxury bags and the wines, yeah, you can already purchase those in the market. For the luxury bags, because they want to also, like when you work with those enterprises, I have to follow their PR policies, PR strategy. So for that particular product line, as I mentioned, there's 1,500 bags sold worldwide. So if you find that bag in the store, you can there's actually a VeChain chip in it. So, but they haven't announced it to the public. And yeah, same thing for the wine. I think that wine is mainly sold in China. It's you can get that from the supermarket. And the second question is, do we have any solutions for like the energy, petrol, and even real estate? The short answer at this moment, we are looking at it in these sectors, and we are talking to some of the enterprises because every day there are like 10 or 20 enterprises sending email to us to try to explore different use cases. Yeah, we are talking to some of them, but right now, as I mentioned, we don't have any real implementation in those sectors. And actually, that's one of the reasons we want to be part of public blockchain, because one team cannot do everything. So you have to be open. You have to open your platform. We welcome like other developers to develop application with us as well.
자원이나 부동산은 규모가 너무 커서 자원이나 부동산은 규모가 너무 커서 각국의 정책과 관련된 부분이라서 좀 늦어지는 건가요?
Yes or no. It's also there, as you mentioned, there's a pretty strict regulations in the specific industry, and also the other reason is we are still looking for some good partners that we can work with in those specific industries.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thanks everyone.
네, 질문이 많으신 거 보니까 이제 블록체인 프로젝트 하나하나에 관심이 더욱더 많아지신 것 같습니다. 저희가 10분 동안 브레이크 타임을 갖도록 하겠습니다. 옆쪽에 다과를 준비했으니까요. 음료수도 마시시고 또 1층과 8층에 화장실이 있으니 화장실도 다녀오시기 바랍니다. 10분 뒤에 저희 세 번째 팀의 발표를 이어서 진행하도록 하겠습니다. We are going to have 10 minutes break time.